What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Marvel's Wolverine yet again. Just kind of talk about the excitement that I've been witnessing, and, the trailer really did its job, and that's really kind of the focus point, of this video. Because, look, as we were leading into this thing, there was a lot of different opinions on this game. I think there was a lot of just fans, right? A lot of people that were just like ride or die. And then you had people that I think were ready to come back but kind of needed a reason to. Does that make sense? And I would say that felt like the majority. I try not to label people. I think that's something the internet does, I think, far too much of. So I try not to. But it, just from my vantage point, what I had seen for 4 years, leading in, and I've covered the game a good amount of time in those 4 years. I've seen a lot of, this kind of hope, this optimism, but whether it's like reserved or quiet or, just like not ready really to give it to them until they, and honestly, I would say maybe I even fell in that where it's like, I'll always talk about this game. I've always talked about anytime there's a rumor, anytime there's news, which very little times there's been news, but I've always been ready to cover it and ready to get excited. But at the same time, and it's not even like the leaks diminished it, or it's just the length of time. It's been 4 years, and I really think, because I want to give a lot of respect to Insomniac, that's I think a big part of this video. That trailer, I thought, was a masterpiece, okay? But okay, beyond that, even like a subjective thing, because I do think it's subjective to say, you like it, you hate it, whatever. But what I do think it's done, maybe objectively, is just brought everybody back. Now, there's going to be people that are against it. There'll be, anytime an exclusive game looks good, the other side of the exclusivity. When an Xbox game looks good, you got PlayStation accounts going at it. When a PlayStation game looks good, you got Xbox accounts going at it. So, you're going to have those people. You're going to have kind of the anti-woke crowd going at it as well. Like, there's always going to be some groups. But, again, kind of what I started off this video saying, like, the people that were already with it, right? There's not even too much you can say. But I do feel a lot of people, including myself, were like, all right, it's been 4 years. And, you really, it is a prove it situation. I think games should prove it to us. They demand $60 to $80 of our cash, and that's a lot of money. It's only going up. Consoles are only going up. You have to show it. And we can have expectations for Insomniac, and they've done a lot of great work in the past, but the game has been missing for 4 years. There were some, I believe, writers that were swapped in and out. Like there was some stuff behind the scenes, and I think there was at least a little bit of concern / just not or people just not ready to give it to them, to say, okay, like we're immediately in no matter what. But, okay, well, now it goes into the trailer. The trailer, days later, I mean, number one, it racks up millions upon millions of views. I saw people comparing it, at least initially. I don't know where the metric lies now, but, like, it was doing really, really, I mean, I think it's at, like, 5+ million views. Maybe it ends up beating, like, some of the trailers for Spider-Man. And, and is that important? I mean, I think it shows general hype, generally, okay? But, Spider-Man sold extremely well. I don't know if you can, like, draw a line from, like, sales to YouTube views, but there definitely feels like so much excitement, and really everyone's back. And really it's almost like from an Insomniac thing where they were aware, and they said, look, for the people that, like, either you could look at it, they said, hey, just shut up and, like, give us your money, like, here's the game, we know you're gonna love it. And probably more towards that very end part where it's like, hey, relax, right? Like, we're Insomniac. We know what we're doing. Let us show you the trailer, and we'll prove it to you immediately that this game is going to be worth getting. And look, it is a trailer. I don't want to go so positive that it's like toxically positive, where you can't say anything negative, even if it's constructive criticism. That's not the type of person I am, and, I like the back and forth, okay? And I respect the back and forth. But I feel like you can feel excitement again. You can feel most people are back, and it feels good. And like, it doesn't mean it's going to be a 10 out of 10, a perfect game, but in just one trailer, I feel like whether it's the viewership, you can tell, like, okay, I mean, it's beating so many other PlayStation exclusives. So you could say, like, they are definitely back, right? The excitement is there. The idea of, okay, well, is it going to be M-rated? A lot of those kind of fears were put to rest, right? It's like, okay, you want to know a little bit of how it plays? We'll show you a couple gameplay snippets. You worried about if it's going to be bloody or not? Oh, don't worry, right? It's going to be age restricted on YouTube most likely. Like, we're going for it. And we'll show you in one trailer why, why you should have waited for us basically for these 4 years. And, again, some of that stuff is a little touch and go. Like, I don't think you should have done it this way. I've said that before. Please never do it again. But at the same time, like, what happened. And really all you can focus on, and I think this is a thing in life as well, you can only focus on the present and I guess maybe a little bit of the future planning. And that's really all they can do as well, right? Is like the past is the past, the 4 years, and no trailers, no news, the leaks, all that jazz. The only thing they can do now is show us the game at its like absolute peak and just get interest. Like, they need to get as much interest as possible and as much hype as possible. And I think, is there a better starting point than this? I really don't think so. Because, and I think I've said before, like, I think any trailer would have generally worked. But like this, what they specifically did here, I thought was incredible. Like, it's one of the better trailers, I think, of recent memory. It's not just any old trailer. It's a trailer that, again, I think puts a lot of fears to rest. Maybe not all. And again, I don't think we should be judging an entire game based off one trailer. I want to make that clear. But that general, like, okay, at least the M-rated, like how bloody, a little bit of how it's going to function, all that jazz. Like, I think a lot of that has been answered. And I think now we can kind of turn our attention to, okay, this idea of, is it ever going to come out? Because, there were those people as well, the idea that maybe you just kind of give up on it. Because that's a segment. And it's a segment that you as a developer, you don't really want them around, right? And it's not to say, like, those are terrible people, but people that are in the area that are saying, there's just no reason for me to care because to me it doesn't really even exist, this game. I think that was valid for like a majority of the 4 years. Now, as a developer, you don't want that. I think any trailer would stop that, right? And so problem solved, right? And then it's like, okay, well, now the trailer is just really, really good. So not only do you kind of, okay, that general fear of, I never thought it was going to get canceled, but maybe some people did. And there is something about a game disappearing for 4 years for a lot of people that would either have concern or just a lack of care. You don't have to go as negative as I'm even saying. Like, you can go halfway, right? Where it's like, you don't have to hate the game because it's gone for 4 years, but there is a sense, I think, in a lot of people that if you don't see a game for 2, 3, 4 years, you just don't care because the game just doesn't really exist to you. I think that's perfectly valid. Any trailer can solve that. And so this trailer solved it amongst all the other things it did. So super, super happy. And, obviously all we have now is that's the interesting and maybe sad part. We only have now this trailer until maybe 5-6 months from now, but we'll get more and it's not going to be another 4 years. And that's the important part. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.